Awesome.
There you go.
All right, let's get over to scheduling.
Let's go ahead to calendar, really quick. So calendar is great because it's synced with Outlook. Just to remind you also, everything that you see here, you're going to be able to see in your Outlook. It's easier to create Teams meetings from here just because it automatically Teams meetings, but you can also create from your Outlook a Teams meeting as well. You just have to pick it. But it's really cool because you can actually highlight any kind of section, the length of the meeting that you want. Maybe I need an hour and a half. And we're going to say marketing report meeting. You can give it a title. You can add the attendees. So let's bring in Nestor here and Joni. Perfect. You can give it the time if you wanted to change it. You can change the date as well. You can even meet within a channel, but typically it's easier just to invite them. And then what's going to go ahead. Another cool feature I want to show you all first is the scheduling assistant as well. So if you press on the scheduling assistant, you'll be able to see whether or not Nestor or Joni are going to be able to have time to have this meeting as well. And it's a lot easier to kind of know. I typically do that with Sherman and Richard to know, okay, when are they going to be free if we need to have a meeting, and I'll schedule at that time. So you press send, and Joni and Nestor should both get a notification that they were invited to have a meeting right here, marketing report. In addition, maybe you just want, you know what, it's due in an hour, I need to meet with them right now. You can go ahead and press meet now. You can change the title if you like. You press join. And then on this right-hand side,
With Diego.
You can, oh yeah, let's add Diego. And it'll automatically begin to call them.
So I'll join it.
And he joins it, and now we're talking. And if this was a normal, if it wasn't an RDP link where you actually had access to it, you could make this a video call. You could have the voice in there. You could share screens with one another like we're doing right now. So it's a very effective way to just meet with someone digitally. In addition, there's also another feature they recently came out with called a live event. We are currently within a live event right now, and it's very cool because it's you're able to share information from multiple sources at the same time. It doesn't matter where the location is. So why don't we go? I'm going to go ahead and just look at my teams so you can actually see what a live event looks like. As you can see, there's a queue here. There's a live event. What happens is there's going to be presenters and there's going to be producers. So I actually have a producer capability, so I can change this. You see Richard just put himself live. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna click on my face. I'm gonna send it live. And now you have access to this information. You can see me, and now I'm the front-facing view of what's going on here. I can share Sherman if I'd like. Okay, now I need Sherman to give me 5 minutes on business optimization. So here comes Sherman, and he's talking from Australia. It's a possibility, right? You could be doing something like that. Is it up to 10,000 attendees? Is that what it's doing?
Yeah, so for this live event, this is something that you'd want to create. Let's say you're pushing out to your whole company, right? And you want to be able to do this and create a really high-end production. So this is really good. So there's a producer. So I'm producing actually this event myself. So I'm kind of controlling it. However, I have Richard and Andres. You can have multiple producers doing it, but the rest of your folks are actually the attendees or the presenters. So if you see on the screen, we actually show JP. Jacob Powers, Don Swanson, and it's just very simple to literally you click on somebody and you send them live, and then they become live, right? And the functionality becomes just so darn awesome, within this. So you can create this, you can have the Q&A function, to the right, the chat function to the right, and you can make it really interactive with this. So there's two different things. There's and just to note is you have attendees and you have producers and presenters. So typically you have a link that you'll send out as an attendee. Okay, and so when they click on it as an attendee. They don't have the bottom functionality within, to see the different presenters. Now the presenters, you give them a separate link and they actually click on it and say they're a presenter, and then we can bring in their video and bring in their voice and add it to the actual stream event. What happens also is when you end it, literally, and this one is going to be very interesting. So this is an hour and a half. When we end this, this recording will be in high definition and available within about 5 minutes to go ahead and download. And you also get an attendee report, a Q&A report, translation. And within also Stream there's a functionality that allows you to convert it to 6 different languages. And what I mean by that is you'll click on a button, and we'll show it to you in a second, that you want to say it's available in Spanish, I want it in Japanese, I want it in French, and especially for United Way, you guys have, a lot of different people all over the world, right? So when somebody who speaks Spanish only clicks into the live event, they'll have an option that says, would you like to English or Spanish or whatever it is, and they click on Spanish, they get into the live event, and with Microsoft's AI, it's automatic translation. So they'll get captions across in their language of what we're talking about, but it'll also turn into voice. It'll actually be a Microsoft voice, but they'll hear it in real time. It's milliseconds that they're able to actually convert it, to that actual language. It's one of the most amazing things that I've ever seen to get. And after it uploads to Stream, it'll automatically convert to closed caption. So you can then download the closed caption, and it works really, really well. So I'll go ahead and pass it back over to Andres, and he's going to show you the live event permission. So
I just wanted to show you. Well, I'll start from the top. So you close here, discard changes. Yes. Where it's at is if you go here to your calendar, right where it says new meeting. If you press the downward sign right here, you can actually press live event. And as soon as this loads, you can give it a title. I'll just call it Teams. And then you can invite presenters. So for example, we need a Sherman to go talk from Australia, right? So we're going to go ahead and add Diego as a presenter. So and Diego will actually be able to share the information with us. Let's just say we added him. You can make it public as well, so that people who are not within your organization will actually be able to click the attendee link and watch the presentation, which is what we're doing today, right? Here is not enabled by the IT admin for the RDP link, but we'll just say org-wide and we'll schedule it. Or actually, I was supposed to go down, huh? Hold on, let me show you all.
Wiz is a quick clicker. That's what we tell him.
So we'll edit this. Where are you? Okay.
Settings. No, go back to that and you go to settings.
Okay. Okay. Where did I put it, Sharon?
Okay, create a new live event.
Oh, it's right here. It's right here. Ah. All right. So if you click it, and we can edit this, and we can change the settings, we can actually see all what we're talking about.
Let's scroll back to the top for a second, because Don actually had a question. See, it says people and groups, organization wide, but when you can turn on the functionality in the back end to make it public. So just like we did here, we made it public. Okay, now scroll down. Okay, and this is where you can create the recording, you can do attendee engagement report, you can enable Q&A, and you can also, it's not enabled for this one, but then you can do, that's where it normally would be, is how many languages would you like it translated into? Okay.
Super cool stuff. Let's see, the last piece that I wanted to cover really quickly was the power that Teams can have for any kind of call or your phone system that you have. So if you go here on the ellipses on the left-hand side and you go to calls, for an additional cost to Teams, you can actually have your own phone number where you can use to call people directly from Teams. If you decide not to do that,
it would be the same phone number as you have right now, so there's no interruption in service. It'd just be like your own phone. So what you're doing is enabling what's called the PSTN function inside of Microsoft, and what will happen is you'll actually get a a dial pad right there. And let me just give you a conceptual understanding of this. Microsoft has 168,000 employees. Not one person has an actual desk phone anymore. They're all gone. And they basically use this, and then they also download the app. And so now the app on your phone actually works better than this app does, on the desktop. And you can then have, calling from anywhere, presence from anywhere, truly anywhere you want. And how that affects your organization is, see, you're paying for Microsoft products and services already. You add an additional $13 to whatever your licenses is per person. Now you get calling. And so now you can get rid of all those phones and all the costs for all those phones and the cost for the SIP trunks and your telecom trunks. You just reside over your internet. Plus, now you give people the ability to work from home easy. And they're not having to dial in, VPN in. They're basically just calling straight from, the PBX function that's available to you. So I think I stole your thunder on that one, Andres.
That is totally fine. That's not a problem. I've been talking for a little while anyways. So what we were trying to show you all here today is just the power of this platform that Microsoft came out with called Teams. I want to end it by describing it how I like to explain it to people. I would say there's 4 functionalities within Teams that really set it apart. It combines, like I said, the different applications into one place where you can be efficient and have all access to whatever you need to run your business. So in a lot of ways, it's like Slack. I don't know if you guys have seen that recent app that came out. Slack, the Teams portion of it is like Slack because you can have different teams, different channels, and you can share information. It's like your on-premises phone system because you can actually have those phone calls, you can have conversations, and you can make you can call people. It's very similar to Dropbox because of all the file sharing capabilities. You can store information, and you can have all the different things that you need within that function. So there's just a lot of things that Teams can do for you as a business. There's a lot of power to it. And I mean, I'll give you our feedback from it. Our entire business has been built on Teams. I mean, Sherman can back me up here. We do everything digitally, everything virtual. There's nothing that we have to do in person. It's all formed on here on our own Teams site. So I hope you were all able to get something from this. I tried my best to share as much information as possible. There's some time for questions if you guys have any questions, and I'll let Sherman take over to finish the presentation. Well, thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you, Andres. I think that was a really awesome, demonstration of the power of Teams. So, first and foremost, thank you very much for joining us today. We are really here to kind of help the community out, help the nation out, really, because we're a national organization, and happy to help in any way possible. What I want to go into here is how we can actually help your organization, or in 2 different ways, really. So we don't do anything direct. So we're not actually selling this. This is not a timeshare. But if your organization you think would be benefit from maybe a more even intense or a training similar to this or something like that, please reach out to your partner who presented this to you, this opportunity, and let them know that you might be interested in Teams training. So we can do this up to 20 people at a time, and actually do that. The cost is about $250 per person with a minimum of 5 seats. Now, if you're a Microsoft partner that is on this call, same situation. Reach out to your clients, see if they need this right now. And we're happy to do this. We have another series of gratis events coming up next week that we're going to hopefully get out today for you. So, just wanted to let you know that we're here to help. So in 2 different areas, please don't take this as we're trying to sell anything. We just want to, give that option just in case that you have that. So with that being said, let's go ahead and pause and see, are there any questions or any comments that you'd like to make before we end the day? So Jacob says, how accessible is a Teams meeting to individuals outside of the team, outside of the business organization? Jacob, that is a great question. So the great thing with Teams is you have to enable it, on the back end to invite other people. So, for example, the way we do it, we manage partners, right? So we create a team site for each partner that we work with. Okay, so they have their own team site and we work with that partner. Well, those partners are outside of the organization. So we literally just create the team, and as long as you have it enabled to be public, okay, on the back end, you can then very easily just send an invitation via email and be added, and they'll send a Teams invite. They'll get this, and when you do it, you should make sure you to the person outside your organization, say, hey, look in your junk box just in case, but it'll say you've been added to a team. You've been invited to a team. They click on that, they click on the link, boom, they are in there. So now you can do that. If you have a Teams meeting and you have PSTN calling, it's very simple. You just literally go to the calendar invite that we talked about, and the people you're adding are the people outside of your organization. And then you just create it, and then a new Teams environment will pop up inside of your invite. It's just so simple. It all works really together. You just have to implement that on the back end.
Thank you. Got it.
You're welcome. If there's anything else, great. Well, listen, everyone. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks everybody
again, and hope this was worthwhile. We'll send you a link for a survey if you don't mind. It'll just take a few minutes. We're not going to give you like a 50 point. It's like 4 or 5 questions. But anyways, thank you so much, and have a great day. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks everybody.
Thank you.